On the 24th of June, I came here because the property belonging to a company owned by my brother was being destroyed and pulled down illegally. And I said, what is happening? Eventually work was stopped. The court ordered even that work should stop, and it was stopped. But I noticed that on weekends, they will come and continue the work. As you can see, the building, the land has been divided into two. A new fence has been built, and they are busy clearing the debris to make it an empty land. And this is what is happening. And since that 6 weeks, I've been flying, appealing for people to show me who said he is the owner of the property so I can discuss with him. Nobody. I've never seen the person, nobody have appeared, but people are working here every day. Okay? So you can see they've marketed it into two. You can see them working here.
This truck should be empowered, serious, lock their body down.
See them working here. That's why the fact that there's a court order saying nobody should work here. They continue to work here. The question is, what type of government do we have? What we are asking, what type of government do we have in this country where court will issue an order saying stop work and people are busy still working?
This is illegal construction.
You can see the tractors and everything. And these only happen during weekends.
They only do it on weekends. They don't do it on a weekday.
Now, this is the level of criminality that the government of the day has normalized in this country. It's now very obvious that the attacks on P2B is not ordinary. The attacks on P2B is not just a mere Nigerian facing some sort of attack from some group of persons. The attacks on P2B are purely politically motivated. Because how come he has a court order to stop work until the court is able to give their final verdict on the problems associated with that property? Yet, those people involved are still coming there to raise structures while the case is still in court. Now, if this unchallenged madness is happening to a person like P2B, the most influential politician in Nigeria and in Africa at large, then how much more you and I, how much more the average Nigerian on the street trying to invest in some part of the country? Do you know what this shows? It shows the level of systemic rot in this country. It has also shown the level of rascality that APC as a party has brought to Nigeria as a country, because it has never been this bad. In fact, at this point, we need to call a spade a spade. In fact, we need to hit the nail on the head. The silence of Lagos state government is loud. This has clearly shown that the government's hand is in this, because this rascality cannot be going on in a state like Lagos State, and the state governor has not done or said anything about it. Instead, they came out the other day to debunk the fact that they had no hand in it, and this rascality is brazenly going on, and they cannot even track or trace the person that is doing this thing to show the person to hold on until the court is able to decide what needs to be done. So anybody saying that the government has no hand in this it's a big lie. The government has a hand in this. If not the state government, the federal government has a hand in this. This is not an ordinary Nigerian executing this level of action. It's not possible. That person doing that thing is solidly backed up by the government of the day, by the government of APC. I mean, what manner of madness is this? Our judicial system is dead already in this country under this present APC dispensation. I know a lot of people are advising P2B to take laws into his hand to start demolishing the structures the way they demolished his brother's structures. But do you know what? The moment P2B does that, that's when you will know that there is law. That's when you will know that the law of Nigeria is actually meant for some people. That's when you will see the full force, the full execution of Nigerian law. Now you will not see it because it's happening to P2B. The moment P2B pulls a single block down, the moment his people pulls down block or that fence down, that's when you will know that Nigeria has law. And that's when you will know that we have law enforcement agencies in this country. Now that is happening to P2B, everybody's blind, everybody's paying deaf ears, everybody's acting as though they don't know what is happening. But the moment P2B tries to retaliate or his brother tries to give back the same energy, that's when you will see the full force of Nigerian law. So, let's not be deceived. They know what they are doing. The law of Nigeria is meant for some people and not for some people. That's what it is. Yes, because if not, in a law-abiding country, this thing happening to P2B and his brother, this acts of wickedness that are being meted on them, on their investments in Lagos, if actually we are in a law-abiding country, it wouldn't have been happening. In a sane country, in a functional country, the opposition parties, the opposition figures are protected because any attack on them is going to backfire. Any attack on them, all fingers will be pointing to the present government of the day because the person is an opposition figurehead. But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. Let's remember that during the time of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Tinubu was being as rascal as possible, but yet he was protected. Tinubu was sponsoring protests every now and then, yet those protesters were constantly being protected by the Nigerian armed forces. None of them were harmed. But you see what is happening to protesters in the country right now. Ordinary citizens coming out to protest for good governance. Ordinary citizens coming out to demand for accountability from their own government. You see the kind of inhuman actions, inhuman treatment that are being meted on them. So forget it. We really know what we are doing in this country. And until we, the Nigerian citizens, the average citizens of this country, until we are tired, until we stop accepting rubbish, until we stop penetrating into the wall as they keep pushing us, until we bounce back and demand for what rightly belongs to us, these guys are not ready to stop anytime soon. Because don't think that the likes of Akpabio and Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu and Wike and the rest of them, don't ever imagine that they are going to give you even a little breathing space. No. Imagine a scenario where lawmakers, in fact, where the head of lawmakers in the person of Senator Godswill Akpabio is brazenly seen breaking the law. What do you now think will be of the other public offices? Nothing. Already the judiciary is in their pockets. So don't expect any court injunction, any court order to be executed. So let's not expect any court order, any court judgment, any court injunction to be executed, except it's favoring them. Once you see any court order favoring them, that's when you see that we have law enforcement agencies trying to implement and make sure that the people involved clearly abide by the rule of law. But once it's not favoring them, forget it. We are not going to get any reasonable action from them. So now tell me, what good do you think that will come out from a country that's already programmed to function in this manner? Nothing. Nothing good. as far as Nigeria is concerned, as far as this present dispensation is concerned, as far as APC is concerned, as far as Tinubu, Akpabio, and Tajuddin Abbas, and Kudirat, Kukerekun, or something like that, as far as they are concerned, nothing good. As in, nothing good will come out of this country. So long as their personal interests are being met, so long as their personal interests are being served, the masses can burn to ashes for all they care. So, my dear people of Nigeria, the earlier we know all those things and back them up with equal actions, the better for us. At this point, I have to call it a day because I honestly didn't want this video to be this long, but it's already getting longer than I expected. So, thank you for watching and see you in my next video.